In this video, we're going to be talking about relationships, specifically married men in a marriage relationship. How do you deal with a spouse who is no longer showing sexual interest in you and you're frustrated and you don't know, how to create that spark again? You're not getting sex anymore, okay? You don't have that interest anymore. You feel like the woman that you're with is not sexually attracted to you. Okay, so there's some specific reasons why this happens, okay? And that's what I'm going to be addressing in this video, so make sure that you stay tuned. I'm John from BulldogMindset.com. On this channel, I teach you how to be a man. Everything you need to know, from building financial independence to getting the physique you want, to getting the girls you want, managing those relationships, and specifically how to go from the victim mindset, which is detrimental to any success in life, to what I call the Bulldog Mindset. Click that subscribe button to become a Bulldog and join us on our quest here. I got this message on Instagram. I'm going to keep this anonymous, obviously. He says, my personal struggle is that I'm in a 20-year relationship, 10 years married with 2 amazing kid boys. Yet, as I've grown up, either I've changed or I've just come to know myself better. I'm stronger and more fit than I've ever been, yet my wife seems to have no physical interest in me as of late, which she blames on stress and feeling tired. Often in times in life, you're going to change and develop and grow as a man, okay? He's been in a 20-year relationship, and he's been married for 10 years. And the weird thing is that, maybe he's been following me here on Bulldog Mindset and really changing his mindset, okay? And becoming more of a man, stepping into that manhood. That's good, okay? Sometimes when you do that, you get more physically fit, okay? You become a better person. What ends up happening is that you're doing it to some degree for the wrong reason, because you're seeking some degree of validation. Now, we're always divided in our motives. We do things for multiple reasons. So I don't want to say that in this case, this gentleman is just doing this for getting validation from his wife, okay? He may be doing this because he genuinely wants to improve himself, because he wants to become a better man, and, to have that kind of purer motive. But when you do not feel adequate as a man, okay, when you feel like your wife or your significant other or girlfriend or whatever it is not really attracted to you, when you feel like she's, and I've talked about this in other videos, she's letting you have sex with her rather than wanting to have sex with you, it's not fine. You don't feel like a man. You don't feel validated as a man. You don't feel like you're the lion that you should be, okay? You feel like you're being given something, okay? That you're being handed out a treat, okay, for good behavior. It's a bad place to be. A lot of guys that are in long-term relationships, especially marriages, they get into this place, okay, and they feel they're still putting their wife on the pedestal or their girlfriend on the pedestal, okay, and in the sense that she's so much more valuable and she gets to be the one who basically doles out the sex, okay? And so they're asking permission. They're asking to have this. When you're making those changes in your life, even though you're more physically attractive, okay? Even though you're more of a man to some degree, there's still this, women are really good at sensing why you're doing things. And she feels like you're doing this to impress her. She feels like you're doing this in some way to gain her validation, to gain that attraction that she never really had for you, okay? And by doing so, by trying to game the system to some degree, she ends up losing more attraction. She ends up losing attraction, okay? Becoming less interested in you because you are doing more things to win her approval, okay? And the reason why that this happens is because a man that is acting in his manhood, who's being dominant, okay, is really acting very masculine. He doesn't give a fuck what anyone else thinks. He's going to go his way, okay? He's going to choose his path, his destiny. He's going to have his purpose in life. And he doesn't need to impress anyone. He doesn't need anyone's validation, okay? He doesn't need anyone's approval. He's not going to bargain with anyone. He's going to take what he wants out of life. And if someone's not going to give it to him, he's going to cut them out of his life. I realize that we're talking about a long-term relationship situation, but I'm just saying that that's the raw nature of a man that a woman is attracted to. She's attracted to that masculinity. The feminine is attracted to that masculinity. And when a man subjects subjugates himself to a woman and to her, her basically guarding of like her sexuality, okay? And he's trying to win that and trying to win that attraction. It's not 100% for validation. I would, I would guess that most men are not doing that 100%, but they have this. You have this in the back of your head, like, oh, I never really, again, the best way I could describe it is, does she let you have sex with her or does she want to? And you've never really felt that she wants to, or that was gone such a long time ago. You're trying to get that back, and she knows that you're doing that, okay? And so your actions and the things that you're doing, right, and the way that you're approaching it, right, is small things, subtle things that you're doing where you're trying to win approval. And again, actually a really good book on this, I interviewed the author. Is called No More Mr. Nice Guy, okay, by Dr. Glover. Okay, check out that book. We'll put a link here in the description as well. But in that book, he talks about this idea of complicit contracts. Maybe you've been in the situation where you're like, oh, okay, I'm going to clean the house and do all the dishes, all right? And actually, Tony Robbins talks about this a lot as well. But and I'm going to do all these things so that tonight, she's going to be happy and she's going to want to have sex with me. She's going to give me sex, okay? And it doesn't work out that way, because what ends up happening is she feels obligated, okay? Obligation is something that you really want to avoid having people feel. She feels obligated because you've created this implicit contract. Like, I'm going to do all this stuff for you. We're not going to spell it out explicitly, but now you have this expectation that you're going to put out. You're going to do this. You're going to feel this way. Okay, it's the same thing, even just increasing your physical attractiveness, getting to the point where, basically now that expectation is now you're going to be, turned on by me because I'm stronger, I'm more fit. And so, it's creating that expectation instead of letting things happen naturally. All right, so that's a big problem. They're trying to do things to win approval. They're trying to bargain their way out of rejection. Okay, they're trying to please, which the more that they become pleasers, the more that a woman loses attraction for them, because they're kind of like a yes man. They're like trying to do all this stuff to please her, and really, surprisingly, what turns a woman on, okay, this is kind of surprising, is a man that says no to her, that says no. Okay, that isn't controlled by the pussy, that isn't pussy whipped, as you would say. Okay, there's a real truth behind that. What really turns on a woman is a man that is able to resist that. Okay, that is not going to be manipulated very easily. Okay, that's not going to do things just so he can get something from her, but is going to do things because he chooses to. Okay, it's going to make his own decisions, not afraid to upset the apple cart. Right, a lot of guys, you hear this all the time from guys that are not getting laid, that are in long-term relationships, and they say, oh, if the wife's not happy, no one's happy, or she's the boss, or they say all this kind of stupid shit. Every time I hear that, I fucking, I hate to use the word cringe, but I fucking cringe, because I'm like, you're such a fucking pussy. Who the fuck would say that, right? Instead, be like, you know what? I'm the one who sets the fucking rules. I'm the one who says how it's going to be. It's my way or the fucking highway. I control my household. I'm the man, all right? And I act like a fucking man. So now he says here, I've had opportunities presented to fill the physical contact void, but that feels like I'm violating a trust that I've promised, okay? So, I'm not going to advise you on what to do here, okay? But I will say this. All right, or actually, we'll read on a little bit more. I know that stoically I should be okay with letting things go, but it feels like that's rather extreme. What's a guy to do in this scenario? I feel stuck. Do I burn it all to the ground? Discretion on the names, please. I can't really advise you as far as you're gonna have to use your own conscience here. I mean, if you make certain choices, they're gonna be irrevocable, okay? They're gonna be permanent choices that are going to change the nature of the relationship, and you can't undo that kind of shit, okay? But at the same time, I would say that life is short, okay? And you can only, you can only do what you can do in life, all right? And you shouldn't, as a man, be forced to accept something less than what you deserve in life. You have some things probably you need to fix and correct, okay? Now, you need to also be very explicit about what you want, all right? I would suggest starting here, okay? I would suggest to basically stop all kinds of pleasing behavior. Stop doing dishes to get something out of it. Stop, whatever it is. Stop being super nice. Stop buying flowers in fancy restaurants or whatever it is. You're probably doing a lot of these basically what I would call cuck behaviors, okay? I hate to use that word as well, but that's the best way I can describe it, where you're basically being a little bitch, okay? You're trying to create these implicit contracts to impress her so that she will give you sex. Oh gosh, like it's such a great thing, all right? That's probably what you're doing. You need to stop all that behavior, okay? And to basically not worry about saying no, okay? Don't try to be a pleaser, okay? Set your direction in life, be the man, step up, accept the consequences. Well, the first thing that's going to happen when you do this is you're going to get cut off from the sex, okay? I mean, you're already cut off, but it's going to be worse, okay? And you're going to have to be fine with that. You're going to have to deal with that and say, it doesn't fucking matter. I'm not going to change. I'm not going to be a little bitch in order to get something that I want, right? This is something that I'm entitled to some degree, right? Like I can get this somewhere else if I need to, but I'm going to basically not denigrate myself in order to get this desire fulfilled. The next thing that you need to do is you need to be more aggressive, more explicit, okay, with what you want, all right? Women are attracted to men who take what they want. Now, again, there's some lines here, obviously, that you can't cross, okay? But what happens with a lot of guys in long-term relationships, okay, especially in marriage relationships, is they basically do one of two things. They say, hey, babe, I thought maybe tonight we could, right? And they're asking, okay? They're asking permission. They're basically begging almost, okay? Very unattractive. Women are not going to be attracted to that, okay? Or, they're doing the little nudge up in the bed, rubbing against, again, a very not direct way. Instead of just grabbing the girl, throwing her down on the bed, pulling off her clothes, okay, being passionate, making out with her, right, and having sex with her, okay? That's a better way. You're just taking what you want. Now, obviously, there's limits to this, and you have to, no means no and whatnot. If you take the approach of just going for it, okay? Taking that risk, right? The reason why you're not taking that risk is because you're buffering rejection. If you ask, if you kind of hint at we should have sex tonight, then you don't have to flat out take that rejection if she says no, because you were just hinting, okay? Instead, you got to take the bold move, okay? The best move is going to be to just grab her and make it happen, okay? Now, that's not always going to be reciprocated when you're in this kind of pattern, okay? But if you make a pattern of doing that or going for it, being bold, you're going to probably make some headway there, and it's going to become more, she's going to become more turned on, and she's going to enjoy that more. At least, if you're not going to do that, then be explicit. Be like, hey, shut the door, lay down on the bed, and take off your clothes. Give her the commands, okay? Now, she might not comply to those, but you can still make those commands. And if she doesn't comply to those things, and she doesn't do what you want, then disconnect from the situation, okay? Then remove yourself from the situation. Don't get upset. Don't get all huffy and puffy. That's the other mistake that you might be making, is getting all huffy and puffy, like, being all a little bitch about it, okay? Instead, just, be a man that shows that he has the options, okay? That isn't afraid to take what he wants. And then, at the end of your rope, if that is not working, if you're taking action, okay? If you stop asking, if you stop being a little bitch, okay? Then you're going to have to make the decision whether you want to live like this for the rest of your life. You shouldn't be forced to be in the situation, okay? That you're trying to do what you can to fix. Right? If you can't fix it, and you've done what you can, and you're stepping up and you're being the man, then I'm not going to blame you for taking whatever action that you need to take. Okay? Now, some people might look down on that and disagree with me. That's fine. Okay? You can do whatever you want with your life. I'm telling you, these are very important, very critical decisions. But in my mind, I don't want to waste my fucking life. I don't want to waste the rest of the time that I have, okay, when I'm doing what I can. You can't directly control other people, okay? It does suck when you have that optionality taken away from you, okay? And maybe you've taken things too far down the pussy train where you've been too much of a little bitch for so long that it's really, really hard to build that back up and establish that back, okay? But I would encourage you to give it a try first, to think about the same kind of advice that I give to single guys that are looking to become more attractive to women, that you need to be aggressive, okay? That you need to escalate things, that you need to stop trying to be a pleaser, okay? Those same attributes that are attractive to women when you're single are still attractive when you're hooked up. In fact, you got to be a little bit even more so of a man because you don't have the takeaway, right? You don't have the takeaway as much. But, all in all, in general, I'd say, do what I'm saying here as far as correcting some of those behaviors, making sure that you're doing things for yourself and not for the validation purpose, okay? And then, like I said, you're gonna have to make your decision. If that's not working, you're gonna have to make the choice. It's a difficult one, but try what you can first, okay? Realize that you're probably making a lot of mistakes, okay? And ultimately at the end of the day, like I said, you've got to decide what kind of life that you want to live and what kind of consequences you're willing to accept. That is all I have for you today. If you haven't already, take that quiz, the Bulldog Mindset quiz. Let me see if you have the Bulldog Mindset. It's going to determine a lot of how you're perceived. And I will talk to you next time. Take care.